Hey guys, it's Kristen. Thanks for coming to my channel. Today we're going to be doing 3 really simple, very inexpensive Dollar Tree Valentine DIYs. Let's get started. For the first project, I'll be using this red and black chalkboard sign from Dollar Tree. I start by removing the red ribbon on the back. Next, I take a sanding block to loosely remove some of the excess glitter. I want my work surface to be perfectly smooth, so I flip the sign over and work on the back side. I cover the entire back with Mod Podge and place scrapbook paper on top. I picked up this scrapbook paper from AC Moore for 50 cents. I wanted to add an arrow to this sign, so I took this other sign from Dollar Tree and simply removed the arrow from the tinsel. Next, I sanded some of the glitter off the arrow using a sanding block. At first, I intended to paint the arrow with some gray chalk paint, but unfortunately, because I didn't sand the arrow very well, all the lumps and bumps were there, and in the end, it just didn't look very good. My second attempt at covering the arrow, I decided to use the burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I just hot glued it in place, and it actually came out really cute. Now that the scrapbook paper has had some time to dry, I go around and I cut the edges kind of close to the heart, but not all the way to the scallop border. To get good cuts around the scallop border, I take my sanding block and I sand around the edges. Here I'm using a sanding block that has actually been used quite a bit. It's a little bit on the dull side. This would have worked out a lot faster if I had used a newer sanding block or piece of paper, so I would definitely recommend using newer sandpaper or a new sanding block when doing this technique. This did work, it just took a little bit longer than I would have liked. I wanted to distress the edges of this piece a little bit, but because there isn't real wood underneath, I thought I would add some dry brushing instead. So I mixed up some gray chalk paint, put some on my paintbrush, unloaded most of the paint onto my work surface, and just went around the edges and added enough paint till I got the look that I really wanted. The next step was to attach the arrow to the heart. I did lose footage at this point, but all I did was hot glue it in place. It adhered really easily. I thought this sign would look really cute inside this tobacco basket. I picked this basket up on spring clearance last year from Hobby Lobby for maybe $3 or so. And to attach it, all I did was add some burlap ribbon to the top, cut it to length, and hot glued it in place. For one last touch, I added this vintage looking lace ribbon to the top of the sign. And that's it. I think this came out really cute. It's got a vintage feel, romantic feel. It really would fit in any type of decor, especially on Valentine's Day. For this next project, I'll be using this heart garland from Dollar Tree. I start by removing the ribbon and the backing off of each of them. Next, I gave each heart a quick sand with the sanding block to get them smooth. To paint them, I took them outside and spray painted them with this Krylon chalky finish paint in classic white. As a result of spray painting, you could really see all the lumps in the backside of the sign. While they appeared smooth, once they got painted, they just weren't all that great. I really should have went through with white chalk paint and just used a brush, but I decided to just leave it as it was, and I would just dry brush over it to add a little bit of an aged, distressed look. I also didn't use the one heart that had said welcome on it originally because it wasn't perfectly even like the other ones. To add some dimension to these hearts, I went over them with some gray chalk paint. I dry brushed the edges, and then I did go over them with a brush until I achieved a look that I liked. I did feel like it was a little bit heavy, but I figured it was alright. I'd come back and sand it and just give it even more of a distressed look. In order to attach the hearts to the garland, I cut drinking straws to the size of the hearts and hot glued them in place, so I could easily thread the jute string right through them. Once I had all the straws attached to the hearts, I went and I added some wooden beads. These wooden beads I got from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below. They came in 3 different sizes, and here I'm using the 2 smaller ones, going 3 small then 1 large. After I had all my beads and hearts threaded on, I added a thin little tassel to the edge with just a few extra strings. And here is a finished look at the heart garland. For my last DIY, I'll be making a mini Valentine's wreath. When I first started, I wasn't sure how many different flowers I wanted to use on the wreath, but I only ended up using the peonies and the lamb's ear. The lamb's ear is the only floral that isn't from Dollar Tree. Lamb's ear is from Walmart and it is $2 for 2 sprigs, so basically the exact same price as Dollar Tree. So here I'm using 1 lamb's ear and I just arranged it on my wreath, hot glue it in place. So once I had decided that I was just going to use peonies on the wreath, I thought I would add a little bit of dimension to them by making them various sizes. On the pick themselves, they're all the same size with the exact same amount of petals. So I went ahead and ripped off some of the extra flower petals on the bottom and hot glued the remaining petals closer to each other. That way they looked more like buds that hadn't fully bloomed yet. Once I had all the peonies and lamb's ears arranged how I liked them, I just added a simple bow to finish it. This lace and burlap ribbon came from Dollar Tree. And here is the completed wreath. I think this came out really cute. It's a nice touch for Valentine's Day, but you could easily continue to use this well into the springtime. That's it for today's Valentine DIYs. Do you guys decorate for Valentine's Day? This is my first year decorating. It's been pretty fun transitioning out of Christmas into something that isn't just spring. Would you like to see more videos like this? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.